Top of the day, guys. We have a nice and beautiful agricultural session today with Ammi the Veggieman at Soul Vegetarian Kenya in Westlands today. If you guys are into agriculture, learning how to plant foods and making boxes to grow foods in, please tune in, tune in, tune in. It's going to be nice. It's going to be electric, but this is not super flashy, extremely exciting. It's exciting if you're into agriculture. So it's going to be a long, teachable. You got to put your student hat on and walk slowly through the class, family. So it's going to be like an hour plus long. So stay tuned. Go ahead and hit that like, share, subscribe to the platform, and let's get straight into it, fam.
We've done many trainings before. We have actually not done a balcony gas workshop, which I think is so necessary because everyone is living in urban communities these days, and in urban communities, we know the challenge. The challenge is really having access to one, to space, and then two, to real clean organic food. So my name is Ammi. I'm also known as the Veggieman. Some call me the organic ambassador. I make a lot of noise about organic agriculture and sustainability. Today we're going to focus on a few things. The main salient points we're focusing on is soil health. So you understand whatever type of system you're growing in, the health of the soil is paramount, because the soil have all of the nutrients, the micronutrients, etc., for plant growth. Okay, so that's one key that's really important. We're going to go through a basic overview of organic crop management, how to manage insects and disease, fertility, etc., and then we're going to do a little bit of nursery establishment. We're going to get you dirty a little bit on the ground with the nursery trays and do some a simple nursery mix. We're going to show you how to make the mix. We actually have the mixes for sale, but we're going to show you how to make the mixes, okay? Then we have the plant potting mixes, which we also sell, but we're going to show you how to combine the plant potting mixes, and we're going to actually do some demos this year. Some plants we're going to plant in. So some of these you'll be planting here today, yourselves, and we take it from there, okay? So I'll read for a little bit. It's a Northeast African proverb that says, "Love the land, and the land will love you in return." This simple saying carries with it the recognition of a sacred synergy between the land, the health of man, and the ecology. Organic agriculture is cultivated of the land using only natural soil nutrients and amendments, biostimulants, biopesticide, biofungicide, bactericides. We have here an API organic farmer's kit, which the kit includes a combination of all of the essential ingredients that you need to manage your farm organically. So our concept around organic agriculture is first loving the land. The land is a living organism, and we have to treat the land as we would a human being. So if you came every day to my house, or if I came to your house, and I came taking, every time I came, I kept taking, at some point, you will actually shut the door, and when I come knocking, you're going to be peeping through a hole, and you'll be knocking anybody home, and in your mind, you can say nobody's home, because you're taking too much. No, that's what is happening. In the agriculture space, we have treated the soil as something that we only take from. So we have been constantly taking, and not replenishing. So understanding that you have to put back what you take from the soil. You can't just constantly take and never put anything back. That's actually unfair. So those of you who may use biblical references, for example, when it says, "The land shall not yield its increase to you for your sins," we speak of that in the Bible, or the land not giving you its increase. For your sins, I'm simply saying that conventional agriculture is sinful. Putting chemicals in the soil or constantly taking and not replenishing is a sinful methodology of farming. Okay, so we want to paint that picture for us so you understand what we're dealing with here. This is not just soil. What we're going to be putting into these boxes is not just soil. Okay? This is just, it's beyond just some dirt. if I say it like that. These are sacred minerals, they're sacred nutrients, they're sacred. Everything about it is sacred. And the 102 minerals that's in the soil is also in the human body. So we understand that's what we're made of. So if you think of all these minerals that we're made of, they make up our brain and make up our cells and our senses and everything, you better believe that that plant has sense. Just like your sensitive skin responds to things that are not good and send you signals, send you messages. Okay? So I'll paraphrase a bit and jump down as I'm moving. And capsicum or stuff in the solar nature or the nightshade families, these things are heavy feeders. They take a lot of nitrogen. Now, on the flip side, in terms of crop rotation, you put some legumes or something back into the soil to make sure you fix some nitrogen back. But not only that, you also need to add some calcium and some other micronutrients that it took. So then we have natural organic extracts that we add to it, that we add to the soil. So those things make up, and we'll break those down for you as we go along in the plan. Now, I'll break down for you a little bit of the organic kit. The entire kit is comprised of the highest quality farming inputs for the whole season, growing crops and yielding just as much as conventional farmers. We said this is the dawn of a new day. And why the dawn of a new day? Because we're revolutionizing organic agriculture. Organic agriculture has not been revolutionized. In modern times, where modern technology came into Africa, it came with a lot of deadly chemicals. So what has happened is that Africa has become the dumping ground for these chemicals and multinationals getting rid of stuff that are now banned in other countries. So they're here with new names with same active ingredients. So why I emphasizing this so much is so that you understand how exposed we are. We are extremely exposed. Because you go into the market right now, whether you go to the supermarkets or to the regular, the local markets, they are buying these chemicals from the agro-vets. These agro-vets, some of these farmers are being subsidized, and some of these agro-vets are just selling what's been given to them. So somebody comes from the shamba, they go to the agro-vet, they say, "Natakadawa dudu." In other words, I want some medicine for this insect. And they give them something. On the flip side is some crazy disruptors in your body. Immune disruptors, reproductive disruptors, a lot of disruptors. You have a skin rash, you find you have some autoimmune response, and you say, "But I'm vegan, I'm vegetarian, I'm vegan." You know, guys who are eating just vegetables, we're still ending up with the same responses like other people who are not. So you wonder why, but some of these are coming through the agrochemicals. So the agrochemicals are actually killing our people. And so it makes you back on the food chain. You try to get off the food chain and not be the pharmacy. You find yourself right back there because you're trying to eat healthy, you're trying to do the right thing, and you still end up taking the same medicines. And I wouldn't go too deep in it, but this also goes into skin products because your skin is the largest organ in the body. It goes into skin products and shampoo, soaps, everything. So it goes beyond just the food that you're eating. But the food that we're eating today is the primary source of quite a lot of the diseases, especially the cancers and the responses our bodies have been given. So we have to pay attention to that. So now, we're not just educating our people in terms of don't eat this, don't do this, don't do that. We're now giving you alternatives. You know, me, I've been a vegan for 31 years. And when I speak to guys for the first time and tell them, you know, if you drink too much of this or if you eat too much of that, this is what's going to happen to you, or the beef does this to your body, this to your body. Then he said, so what am I going to do? You know, so then sometimes you come and you disrupt somebody's life more. You be so disruptive because you come tell them, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. And then they're left scratching their head. So what do I eat or what do I do? How am I good? What happens next? You know, so beyond just the alerts and the what they call some people like me, they call us there's a word they call it, conspiracy theorists. You know, they say we're too much. But the truth of the matter is you take any of those chemicals to a lab and test them, and you see quite a lot of the active ingredients of products that have been banned over 40, 50 years ago in other countries. So now our position, the new day, the dawn of the new day. Not only are we supplying these products for farmers, and not only are we giving farmers the alternatives with a few products here and there, but we are actually taking them hands-on and showing them exactly what to do. And what we're going to show you today, some of it may look like these guys don't want any money, they don't want to sell us all the products, because we're going to give you some insight on how to make some natural remedies, how to make some natural compost, making some natural insect and disease control, you know, using stuff like your baking soda, using white vinegar, using stuff you have in the house to help you solve some of these issues. Okay, so everything doesn't have to be I go buy a product. I mean, yes, we love it if you buy some of the products. They're easy. You don't have to go crushing peppers and grinding neem. You know, we have the neem products there that you would have to literally pound neem. We have extracts. So what we do at ABI Organic, we are a little bit of the, what we say, like the modern health food store of agriculture, with concentrate extracts to help manage diseases and insects, etc. Now, I'm not going to go into hydroponics. Reason being, I know there's stuff there you can buy. We sell the pumice, we sell some of these other stuff that guys use in hydroponics, but we understand that the earth, the soil, is it's a living organism, and what the soil puts into a plant, you don't get from just some liquids and some fertilizers, some extracts. You don't get that. So it's important to plant in the soil. The biological activity of the soil is super important. The fungal activity in the soil is super important. And some of the reasons we're going to be demonstrating in the boxes, because we're going to give you a little bit of insight into how this mycelium works, the network, the plant communication system. Because keeping that intact and not having to always come and plow with the djembe and the hoe and make another bed, you turn the soil over. I mean, it's nice to have nice, smooth, loose soil for the roots to develop and all of that. But there's also some intelligence in soil that is not constantly tampered with. And the other side, there's some, we're going to give you a little bit of insight into why we do ground covers. So the ground covers, for example, the ground covers are a bit like the forest. Most times you go into a forest, if you move the leaves, the dry leaves, and put your hand into the soil, you smell it. You say, this soil is so rich. And the first thing comes to your mind is that all this stuff has been decomposing for so long, and that's the reason why it's so rich. But that's only a part of it. That's one part of it. The reason it's so rich is because it's covered. In other words, it has a skin. Modern agriculture has forced the earth to operate without a skin. So the sun is burning the soil, and they have all the nutrients and micronutrients, they're now disappearing. They're going into a more conducive environment. So they're going lower and lower. Not only guys pouring in these toxic chemicals, everything is running away from them chemicals, but then the sun is burning, it's too dry, it's not a healthy environment. So having a cover, like the forest, allows the bacteria and all the natural organic activity to come back to the surface. So that's what happens when you cover. When you cover, you do mulching and ground covers. You actually create a conducive environment for bacterial and fungal activity, friendly bacteria and fungal activity, if I say it like that. I will jump. I'm jumping so that we can go to getting dirty. What is organic agriculture? Good day, sir. Are you here for the class? Yeah. Please come sit in. Welcome. Okay. The word organic means living in practical terms. This means natural food that is grown and processed without synthetic fertilizers, pesticides, herbicides, or fungicides. It is cultivated using only natural soil nutrients, fertilizers, biostimulants, pesticide, bacterial, and fungicides. The quality of the land is maintained over time. So planting in organic soil and constantly regenerating that soil, you should get better and better yields if you're doing the right type of maintenance and if you're putting the nutrients back into the soil that you took from it. Okay? So when we talk about NPK, everyone knows you go to the store or to the agrovet and you get these big sacks of NPK. Why NPK from an artificial source? Why not NPK from compost and from natural formulations? So NPK that we use in organic agriculture, it's something that we know after planting heavy feeders, you add that back to the soil. You go put some calcium back. You go put some, you put some like trichoderma and so on back into the soil. These days we even work with microhizal, which is another fungal extract. So you're putting these nutrients back into the soil. You put some humic acid, which you can make your compost tea. And we can share that with you guys. Anyone who wants to see compost tea recipes, we can give you those. And the compost tea is simply using the cow manure or your compost fertilizer or your food waste, and you put those into a barrel. Most times you put it at a portion of 1 part to 3 parts of water. So 1 part of compost or soil manure, the 3 parts of water, leave it for 7 days, and you take that and you can add that at a 50-50 ratio with water and drench your plants. I'm giving you some gold here, I'm giving you for free. That's some additional gold I'm giving you. You can take, once again, I'll say, you can take your compost, like the fine mix that we have, or your manure, or your food waste that's partially decomposed, put them in water, 1 part to 3 parts of water. And you cover for 7 days. It will bubble, it will ferment, it will do its thing. But after that, you can mix that up to 1 to 1 with water, or even 1 to 2 with water. But you take that and you literally spray and drench your crops with it. And this thing will actually work as a, 1, as a biostimulant, 2, as a fertilizer, and 3, it also keeps off some insects. I bet you didn't know that. Nobody knew that this liquid compost keeps insects off as well. You knew. I used to do it. That's good. That's really good. So these are just some of the tricks to it. Powdery mildew, which exists in, sometimes, you know, temperature gets hot and cold and it gets a little humid, a little humidity in the air, you get powdery mildew. The way that you keep down powdery mildew, for example, is that you can, because most guys are not aware, even farmers. I know he's a farmer, he looks like a farmer. Are you a farmer? Have you had powdery mildew in your farm? Powdery, that one that look like ashes. Small powdery spots in the plant.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, powdery mildew, most guys go into a greenhouse or into a farm and you literally go removing the leaves to get rid of the powdery mildew and you throw them away, because most guys will tell you powdery mildew is a spore. You have to burn it or put it in a bag, get rid of it. But sometimes we can be a little bit stupid because we know these are spores, and you know, spores travel in the wind. Most people never think that these spores were on your clothes. So you go back into the same greenhouse or into the same farm and you spread the powdery mildew all over again. So some of the simple tricks to it. If you're going to handle powdery mildew, put on some protective gear and take it off afterwards so that you go back into your environment, into the planting environment, greenhouse or otherwise, without powdery mildew, because these are spores blowing in the wind. And they're all over your clothes, they're on your hands, they're on your tools, they get everywhere. Another trick that we learned was spider mites. Spider mites, when you see your leaves looking, like have some little white dots in them, and the spider mites begin to, and I'll share with you, everyone who's here, we send your WhatsApp image of a WhatsApp PDF with all of the things I'm talking about. So the spider mites, you see these little white, small spots in discoloration of the leaves, and you look at the back, you can hardly see them with your eyes, especially the brown spider mites, but the red ones, hard to see. Then you're like, man, these spider mites getting on my nerves. But sometimes it could be something as simple as these things blowing in a dusty area and the wind is blowing. So what you have to do, you get a windbreaker. Get a windbreaker, and most times you can stop all these spider mites from attacking. So you can spray with your organic, even crushing some aloe vera and garlic is really, really good for keeping on spider mites, aloe vera and garlic. You have notes? I want to make sure everyone's taking notes. See, Rukama, call Kevin. I want to make sure everyone's taking notes. So what I'm going to do next time, we make sure we have some books and some pens. We should have done that, innit? We're so, okay, you got your phones. You guys, this 2025, huh? this 2025, she came ready. I mean, excuse me for rushing through because I want to get to this part. I want to get to the fun stuff. Okay, but it's important that you get this so that you leave here with knowledge and information that's going to empower you to do better wherever you're farming. So the spider mites, garlic, aloe vera, you can use in spider mites. Aphids, you can use something simple like a natural soap. Some natural soap, and if you have anything like neem, I mean, we actually sell products here with what I'm talking about. We have neem products, we have neem and parenteral mix, we have neem and garlic products mix. But you have some natural soap and some chili pepper or cayenne pepper. Some natural soap and some chili pepper, and you can actually get rid of most of your aphids.
When you say natural soap, something like Castile or?
The Castile soap is good, yeah. Castile soap is good because when they do make the Castile soaps, the lye is actually in the formulation, it becomes dormant in the formulation of those soaps, of the Castile soaps. They do use lye, but it becomes dormant, and it's okay. We haven't found any residue of any harsh chemicals from using Castile soaps. So just some real, yeah. But you mix that with a little water and some chili peppers or cayenne pepper, and you can actually get rid of most of your aphids. There's
I'll give you the main ones, and the next thing that I know most guys struggle with is your white flies. Again, white flies, soap and garlic. Soap and garlic, get rid of your white flies. So some real basic stuff. And also, I had to jump back to that infection, powdery mildew. Most times you have powdery mildew. Mix in a moderate amount, like about a spoonful of baking soda in about 2 liters of water, roughly, give or take a little bit. But that actually spraying that on your plants, on your leaves, helps get rid of your powdery mildew. Okay? So I'm sprinkling some gold dust here, giving you all a little bit of gold in the mix. Okay, I'll jump back in a little bit just to mention, I need to mention something about GMO, so please bear with me. Genetic engineering is not allowed in organic foods. Most organic standards across the world stand strongly against GMO. GMO food production and demand for any breed of such to declare them being responsible for the outcomes of such foods to the consumers. This seems, I'll take it up a bit. This seems not to be in their plans for the GMO. GMO produce are never stated on any packaging material. You hardly ever see them saying this is GMO. I'm so serious. I remember back when I first became vegan, we used to see non-GMO, organic and so on some soya milk packaging. Later, when the larger companies took over those brands, you didn't see non-organic non-GMO or non-organic anymore, because they were taken over by the bigger companies who were focused on this part of that, the GMO agenda. So we stand strongly against GMO. The purpose for their breeding is questionable, and most of the time they serve the curiosity of scientists rather than addressing the world food insecurity needs. Genetic engineering fails to respect people's choice, since they can easily put animal genes into plants and so on and so forth. Because it's a lot of engineering that takes place in the GMO line of things. But our philosophy is that anything that genetically modifies your food is genetically modifying you. So then your entire cellular structure is changing by consuming something that is not naturally from creation, that God did naturally create. That's not in the cycle of life. So and likewise with seedless foods. I will digress a little bit on seedless production. Seedless foods are, I would say, anti-life or anti-reproduction, because the seed was given and everything has an ability to reproduce itself. So when you remove the ability of reproduction from any plant, any fruit, whether it's a seedless watermelon, seedless grape, seedless orange, when you remove its reproductive capability, there's something that seed should be giving you to help with your reproduction. And not just a reproduction of children, but your reproduction of cells, your reproduction of your organs, the reproduction of what you need. So if it's anti-reproduction, you better believe it's also limiting your ability to reproduce. Okay? Now I'll go into this, and then right after this, I think we can begin to get dirty a little bit. Okay, why organic agriculture? Organic farming ensures working within the framework of natural laws and cycles that govern plants and land. This ensures the intended life processes in the plant take place and the produce is whole, no empty foods. Organic agriculture does not give you empty foods. When you plant food where some guys put salts in the soil and then they get the plants really, really thirsty, and then they bombard them or flood them with liquid in the irrigation system or in the fertigation system, filled with chemicals, and the plant produces or matures in 6 to 8 weeks versus 12 weeks, sometimes even less, and you get a big, juicy looking fruit that only lasts in the shelf for exactly 4 days, or even wilts in the refrigerator. And you're like, what's wrong with this food? I remember when I used to put a tomato on the counter and it would just last, a natural tomato. And you bite into it, it tastes like a tomato. No, these days what you're getting is not the same. It's just not the same. And some of what you're getting in the supermarkets, I promise you they're not the same. they're not the same. So the foods they get, what they have been able to deceive farmers with, farmers rush to get these chemicals because they ensure they get quick returns. But those quick returns are short-lived. Those quick returns are very short-lived. Why are they short-lived? Because putting those chemicals in the soil, you may have 3, 4, 5 good seasons. And when I say good seasons, of high quantity, but low quality, nutritionally. So you get that extreme quantity over that period, you get a lot of returns, and you can go sell quickly, make some quick money, but then you kill the soil. And the soil, like I said earlier, the soil is like nobody's home. You're trying to plant, you said nobody's home. You said, my yields are decreasing, I'm getting less maize. I mean, you know. Where you from, brother? Leonard?
Yeah, I'm from Nairobi.
You're from Nairobi? Yes. Perfect, because I've been to Nairobi 200 times. The maize in Nairobi, you used to get 30, 35 bags of maize about 10, 15 years ago. I'm not exaggerating, am I right?
Yeah, that's true.
I know, because I was here. These days, you're getting 8 or 12 bags of maize in the same lands. So lands that the owners have nowhere else to go. They poison the lands that they're living on innocently because they're just trying to do the right thing. But what are they buying? They're buying Roundup. Everybody know about Roundup. I think everyone knows that because they want to kill the weeds quickly. And they put the NPKs, the CAN, the DAPs. They get you familiar with all those? I bet you never knew that the soil was being compromised. I know the salts in the soil are being locked up. So now the soil is hard. And I know you've gone to the farms, you see the farms, the soil is getting harder and harder to till. Yeah. And you wonder why. In organic agriculture, it's the opposite. If you keep adding manure after every season, if you keep adding compost after every season, and humic acid and natural bacteria, if you put in friendly what the soil needs after every time you plant, you give the soil some love. You know, it's like I come to your home, I come home and I say, tell me your name again, brother. Pital. I come to Pital. I say, Pital, how are you? How are you, sir? Pital, I say, I'm good. Take some sweet potatoes. Next time I'm coming back, I'm saying, I know Pital, give me some sweet potatoes. I better come with something. So I go to my shamba and I start harvesting. I say, Pital, I got some oranges, I got some lemons, I got watermelons. So what Pital does this time, he gives me more. He said, man, I don't have sweet potatoes. I have duma, I have some cassava, I have some yam. Take all. That's the way the earth operates. If you give the earth back what it needs, it will give you. And believe it or not, it's the same thing with the soil in these boxes. There's a scientist who did some research recently. I got a report. They were testing plants, putting some gadgets in the plants to check their light response and how the plants respond. And the person who actually waters a plant in these boxes, in a pot, they say there's house plants. The person who's watering the plants every day, when that person is coming home, the plant light system, the plant responds. In other words, the plant appears to get happy. In a pot, he said this plant responds. Then they kept testing and testing and testing to see how far away that person can be before the plant responds. Do you know that plant responded when the person is 2.5 kilometers away? 2.5 kilometers away, and the plant system showed signs of happiness, rejuvenation. The plant, almost like the plant standing up like, yes, somebody I love is coming home. And this is the plant in a box. It's a plant in a pot at home. Can you imagine what a forest would do? Can you imagine a forest knowing who is coming? So, that goes into another side of science in terms of your behavior, what you do with yourself in life, your righteous or unrighteous actions, and how nature responds to you or gives you. But imagine what a forest would do. Even in the forest, not digressing, this is important. The forest, and I recommend this book to anyone, The Secret Life of Trees. I love that book. The Secret Life of Trees is a good read. Secret Life of Trees. It speaks about a tree stump that was cut for over 300 years. And when they dug into the stump, took a knife and dug into the tree stump, they found that it was still green. There was still chlorophyll in it after 300 years. So what was taking place is that the trees are feeding each other through the root systems. So they kept the stump alive. And if you go to a forest, you'll notice when the trees, especially of the same species, when they grow beside each other and the leaves, the branches begin to touch each other, you never see them doing that. They stop. and the branches get fatter and fatter because the trees have intelligence. They know not to cover the entire forest because they need light and they need air circulation. So trees are that intelligent. And they also notice that the trees feed each other. So if this one has a few leaves, this one has a lot of leaves, they're still feeding each other and supplying sugars and so on to each other on the ground. And they said that the trees even supply this nutrients to a competitor tree, a tree that's competing with it. It still supports it. And the question was, why would the tree support another tree that's competing with it? The answer is that one single tree does not change weather patterns. One single tree does not determine whether it rains or not. One single tree does not determine the temperature, etc., etc., but a forest does. A forest does. So they understood the importance of supporting each other. Even if they appear to be in competition with each other, they still make sure each other stay alive, like no one goes without. And that's the nature of the forest, and that's the nature that we want to share with you guys as we go into this realm of organic agriculture. And why organic agriculture? It's for more than just you. Organic agriculture is non-selfish. It's for more than just you. You're not just farming for yourself. You're preserving the environment. You're protecting the soil for someone else and for generations to come. You're providing healthy food for other consumers, not just you. It's not just about your children. It's not just about your children, bro. It's not just about your grandchildren. It's about his. It's about hers. It's about everyone's grandchildren and everyone's great-grandchildren. So organic agriculture is about a holistic synergy of how we live with each other. And we could go into so many aspects of life that mimic organic agriculture. Okay, let me finish this up on why organic farming. Okay, fresh organic produce is of high quality and they contain an average of 50% more vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and other micronutrients than the conventionally grown ones. It employs innovative, effective system, intercropping, crop rotation, organic plant-based sprays, and composting with increased crop yields. Because over time, doing organic agriculture, your yields get better and better. Can you imagine how it would be in Nairobi if these guys were farming organic from Kitambo, from way back when? They'll be getting more and more. They would have gone from 30 bags to 50 bags because the soil, Mother Nature would have been happy. She would be happy that you kept bringing something back home. Okay? The organic farming relies on renewable resources using 70% less and producing much less pollution than conventional farming. Preserving the soil is the key factor. Opposite to conventional farming, which plants are fed directly, organic farm feeds the soil and therefore the plants rely on soil fertility. For organic farming, soil fertility does not just mean the right pH levels or minerals available, but as well as the microorganisms in the soil. Thus, organic soils are considered as a living entity. In organic farming, we treat the soil as a living entity. There is an increased yield as well as nutritional value of the produce without having to resort to sterilization, hybridization, and genetic modification of plants and seeds. Organic foods retain pure fresh flavor and the way it's intended. And studying organic produce has proven that the more intense flavor and molecules are a direct result of a dynamic soil. In organic food flavor, it is not contaminated or masked by residues, preservative, or waxes, nor is it enhanced to many times the flavor is actually present with the common practice to achieve full flavor, where very little is actually there in conventional food. Very little flavor. Okay, why? There is so much in why organic. I'll share the document with you guys so that you can go through and have the opportunity to because it's just a lot. It's a lot. Why organic? There's a long list of why organic. It's so much. I'll be reading here for the next 30 minutes telling you why organic. So what I'd like to do, I'd like to move because we're gonna move to some practicals. We're gonna come back to a little more theory and back to practicals. Okay. So first thing we'd like to do is the organic tray nursery. No, the organic tray nursery consists of Fine Mix, which is an organic, and it's in on Red Hill Road.
So you can give us.
I'll give you contacts, and there's an organic market in Karen. There's several organic markets that do take place around,
Okay.
and like I said, always is the last Sunday of the month, and then the other guys are mostly on Saturdays. I know, and Karen it's Saturday.
There's one in Karen, I know about it, where there's 30 arms.
Yeah,
Is it what-
at Padams. That's right.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, that's where it is. Yeah, and then in the network, there's also a network of organic farmers. What I also suggest is COAN, Kenya Organic Agriculture Network. I serve as a board member there. It's always good, even if you're a simple farmer, just to register with COAN, because the network is a wide network of farmers who interact with each other and share information, share produce, and so on and so forth. Because what we're doing right now, the focus is really sharing the knowledge and how to do it. So we're empowering our people with how, so that guys.
And are other farmers following suit now, knowing the repercussions of
It's
pesticides and fertilizers?
it's slow. It's slow. Because what I've noticed, I have a few farmers over years who started off conventionally, and they eventually come to me, so we need your help fixing the soil. And sometimes when you look at the soil test, they've done so much damage for so long. It's a lot of work to fix it. They've done so much damage for so long. So what quite enough.
Unknowingly.
Not sometimes they don't know,
Yeah.
but some guys are greedy and don't care about the health of the people they're selling the foods to. Some people are just straight greedy, and that's wicked, if you ask me, because it's all about the money. I don't care about the consumer. I just want my money. So that's, to me, that's just wickedness. But in terms of in terms of what I've seen, is that guys may have 10 acres of land, grow chemicals. I mean, kill, and then you look up 10 years in, it's costing them so much to grow in that soil because the soil is dead now. So you're growing food on chemicals. So you've done so much damage over time that you end up like let me look for somewhere else. So literally, that's only good for buildings. That's just good literally for real estate for buildings, and you end up finding some other land to go do the same thing. Like literally, go do the same thing somewhere else. So that's what I've seen, and since it's been over a decade here, I've been working with farmers and with network of farmers, especially with corn. So what I've observed is that we have a slow awakening. Look, let me have those. What we have is a slow. We have a very, very slow awakening of farmers. So Jessica, you gonna some? Huh? Seeds. I think we're gonna need a bag of Fine Mix. Is it enough for 3 trays? You're gonna get dirty too? Peat moss and Fine Mix? Okay, and a cup, okay. Bowls, 1 second. We'll be right back. Bella, what's it? Where's the other 2 guys? They went to the washroom as well? Okay. When they come. So this is peat moss.
Peat moss.
Peat moss.
Peat moss.
Yes, and I'll break down for you. I'll let you guys do it, and I'm going to break down for you the benefits of peat moss and why peat moss. Okay? Yeah, I'll explain to you why peat moss. And it's the water. It has a very high water retention capacity, and it's and there's no seeds, nothing as German, no bacteria, no seeds, and it's safe from developing any fungal infections in the soil. So
Also weed free.
yes, weed free completely. Yeah, peat, similar to cocoa peat. We have cocoa peat as well. I always prefer peat moss, and we'll explain the advantages of both.
So peat moss is what exactly? It's made from moss?
Yeah,
It's made from moss.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
green moss.
yeah. It's moss, but it actually grows. If you look it up, you Google it, it grows I think they grow it in Spain. There are a few countries that actually get to South America mainly. Yeah, but it's actually taken from just below the soil, the surface, and it's manufactured and when I say manufactured, collected and grown in the fine particles, and so globally, yeah.
Nutrients.
No nutrients.
No nutrients.
Peat moss and peat moss and peat moss and cocoa peat. Cocoa peat actually no nutrients.
Cocoa peat is
Coconut.
Jessica,
coconut.
I'm going to join your team. Which team? You can join any team. You can join this team over here. Okay. Okay. So now I'm waiting because I want to give everyone the opportunity. I'm leaving the bags in the middle. You guys can actually be stealing out the bag. so no, it's not too bad to read while you're on the ground. To 1 part fine mix, and like I said, the fine mix is fine decomposed mushroom waste, vermiculture, and waste from the mushroom from the mushroom compost. So the mushroom substrates are also decomposed in fine mix. Okay. So, and the reason we do this is that while the cocoa peat is good water retention, good for root development, and so on and so forth. No weeds. It's actually one of the good substrates that can grow. It can germinate a seed by itself. No, the fine mix are the nutrients. So the fine mix being nutrient packed. Once the seed has already germinated, in the next period that the seed continues to be developed, the fine mix is providing some of the nutrients and micronutrients that plant actually needs. And the reason why we use the planting trays, the main advantage of the planting trays is that when you're ready to transplant, which you will do some transplanting today and see the benefit, you're actually able to pop it out from, I want to get one that's easy. That's an easy pop out. Those ones are little. Yeah, here. Okay. So most times you can get the whole root system intact. So having your root system intact, it gives you a much better advantage and increases your percentage of the plant survival. Your survival rates increase after transplanting using the trays. Most times guys will do the grown nursery, and you notice after transplanting from the grown nursery that sometimes you have at least 10-15% loss, because some of the plants sometimes they don't grow. And some of them literally, when you transplant, you see them lay flat down. You're going to notice when you transplant these today that all of them stand up. There's no transplanting and then it goes limp, because you have not disrupted the root system. So this avoids you the what we call transplant shock, where the roots are torn and the roots are ripped apart. Everything is intact. And plants actually love this. They love it when the roots are intact and you transplant them and then you begin to water and add nutrients. They're happy. And what we notice also, if I'll break this down for you just before we go into this, the nursery is an actual nursery. So we treat it like a child in a nursery.
Yeah.
So even your watering schedules, if you're going to water it at 8 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon, maintain that schedule. It's like you're feeding a child. Because the plants, these babies, they will struggle, just like your babies, they will struggle in adulthood if they don't have a good childhood.
Yeah.
And they will struggle in school and the nursery stage. If you have them stressed out, no water, no nutrients, and they're stressed, by the time you transplant them, you expect these plants to produce for you. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you expect this plant to produce for you, and you're wondering why it's not doing so well, because it had a bad childhood. It had a stressful childhood. So you cannot stress out the plants in the childhood stages. And when they become adults, you want to be in a conducive environment that you can practice and you can produce and reproduce. Okay? So this nursery is an actual nursery. It's not just, and I try to break it down for you so you understand the care and love you need to give to your plants in the nursery stage. And the more intimately connected you get with your plants, both your food crops and your decorative plants at home, you will see how they respond to you. You'll begin to feel the connection. You'll almost walk into the house and it's almost like something make you turn and look like that. And you see the plant, you go touch the roots, you see it's dry. But something made you turn. You don't know why you turn, why you look. Something made you turn, but you turn and touch the root system because the plant was talking to you. It was communicating, I'm dry, give me some water. So it's so part of this is really developing a relationship with ourselves all again, because we are everything and we have to develop that relationship again. So we start with this, and like I said, everything here, it's 100% natural, 100% organic. And I think you asked me earlier if you said some chemicals. Who asked me? Was you? Somebody said some chemicals? Yeah, I said no chemicals, like absolutely zero chemicals, okay? So we don't want you guys to fight with each other. You can start with the one and then get the two?
Is it okay to mix?
It's okay, it's okay. Yeah, they're going to be mixed eventually anyway.
Shall I mix it?
Yes, yeah. Mix it with your hands, get it nice and mixed up in there. Pardon me, I really prefer when it has a little bit of water in there. I think you guys may need to go again. Let me get some more. What's peat moss you have? I think you guys can add a full cup and a half a cup of each. So you have enough for your tray. Get a full cup and a half a cup. Jessica, I'm stepping over you. You're not gonna get short.
So one and a half, not one and then half.
Yes, yes. Okay. Let me slide by one more time.
Yes, that's
Good. Get your hands in there. Get your hands dirty. You can get it in your nails and everything. You're gonna get it in your nails. You're gonna get dirty. You're gonna get everything. Careful. Very careful. All right. All right. No. Wait. Let me send you the labels. Let me send you now. Okay.
It just needs to be moist, yeah?
Not a little more. Just a little bit more. What happens? You don't want it falling out the bottom of the trays. These trays have slightly larger holes. So for this particular size, these are 66 hole tray. For this tray, it's better that it's a little more sticky than that. Yeah.
That is my favorite subject. Now I'm learning a lot of what I used to enjoy it with my mom. I used to get full marks in both of them. But come to the other garden, I used to love the zoology. Oh, I love zoology. But I used to love this class.
Okay. Yeah, the consistency looks similar across the board.
Because of zoology. But it's animal related, that's
Okay, you guys are good. It's this is supposed to be about 6 by 6. You can reduce Kidogo to about 5 by 5 inches. Mm. 5 by 5 inches should be okay. Inches, I mean. Yeah. 12 each. You have 2, right? You're supposed to have 2. Let me show you which ones. Yeah, the 2. Yeah. Okay, 12 each.
Because that is
I send it to him. Kebo. You press here?
Okay, perfect. You know what? You treat plants like your children. And sorry, wait, I haven't put the. Is this enough? If you treat them like enemies,
That's good? No?
I will do. I'll buy all this.
Alfalfa seeds. These are alfalfa seeds, yeah. Like alfalfa sprouts. Are you familiar with sprouts? But these are just for them. Yeah. You normally get, there's a lady there who grows sprouts. Her name is Hannah.
Bean sprout.
Yes, she grows alfalfa sprouts, different types of sprouts.
So green gram. Is that
No, you talk mung bean. The green gram is a mung bean sprouts. This one is another sprout that's really, really nutritious. You can look it up, alfalfa. Most guys have it as sprouts.
Yes.
Yeah. So open your hands. Your hands. You got, dust your hands off. Who got clean hands? I need one person on the team with clean hands. Because we're going to do an example where you're going to actually put one seed per hole.
One seed per hole.
One seed per hole.
Correct.
Get into the detailed stuff.
Okay, now. Okay. So where exactly? Wait, yes.
Put it in the middle. Just one seed. Huh? One seed. Just drop it in there. One seed per hole. Don't worry about the little bulge in the middle.
Sorry, where is your hand?
You can. Where's the one they had? They had one that was already. Where's that tray? You guys took your tray?
Where's the other tray? Press? Okay. Is
Oh.
that there? That's the one.
Okay, that's it. Just dust it off.
Here. Let me do this way.
left hand?
So important to know how to plant.
Science behind it.
This is your mom?
It's my sister.
Your sister?
She's my sister.
The sister, please let your sister have a turn.
Come on this side.
Yeah. Yeah, let her get some. Go ahead. So this is just an example of what you would do at home when you're watering. And this is basically it's dripping. Just go a little more. Just go till it drips, just to understand the full cycle of it. And this is what you do every morning, every evening. And like I said, if you come and it's still really wet, then you don't need to add so much water. You may just touch the seedlings because they're sprouting. But then when you go during the middle of the day and you see it extremely dry and the plants are falling over, please add some water. Don't let them die and say, well, Mr. Ammi told me morning and evening only. So that's it. Okay. Next one. You're going on, like you have a small garden, you can always have something coming for the next cycle. So you just keep a little nursery. If you have someone at home helping you, just tell that person, hey guys, in the morning, just spray a little water. And it's
Only what I can do is start off with this myself. And then when they need to be replanted in the soil, the gardener can.
no, I want you to plant in the soil. I want you to, no, we're doing.
If I see earthworms, then
No, we're doing some of these. We're going to plant. I'm sorry, we're going to plant some.
I only have a small balcony. Well, bigger than this.
Okay.
That's all I have.
How big is your balcony?
So it's a rectangle.
A rectangle.
Yeah.
So stuff like this you can use.
I can use these.
Yeah, and these. Because we have these tailed as well. We make these in stairs. We make all sorts of different shapes and sizes. We just haven't gone. This is the first time we decided let's make a workshop and give people the power.
Even they have a balcony.
Yeah. So anyone with a balcony can do this.
Yeah. So as long as we have
Yeah, you have the troughs, which is what we're going to do today. It's much lighter, and this actually costs a lot more. The guys selling pallet boards more to get the guys to separate them and then get them to burn them. So it actually turns into, it's nice and fancy, but it costs a little more than just buying some simple timber.
How much would that cost?
This, I mean, we're selling them. You want it?
How much?
I mean, I'll ask the lady inside the price in it, because they actually sell them.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, but something like that. Yeah, let her come and tell you the price, because I'll be guessing. Yeah. This one is this simple blue gum. That's just basic blue gum. The advantage with some of these, with doing it like this, is that let me say, first of all, you're creating a natural, intact soil environment. So the soil is not constantly being disrupted and moving. You have an environment that the soil is in one place, and when the mycelium grows, it stays there. You don't need to turn it over. All you need to do is keep, like, if you have some earthworms or whatever, you add some soil with some worms, which is really, really good. And you see the beneficial insects, and then the bacteria develop. Like you add a little bit of compost tea and so on. Once this soil begins to regenerate, it doesn't stop. Soil does not stop regenerating itself.
So now if I've got an earthworm phobia, how am I gonna?
Well, actually, the mixes we have here do not have earthworms, fortunately.
I have 2 plastic pots at home.
Yeah, we have potting mixes you can get.
Plastic in your kitchen.
Yes, it is. Once it's not plastic that leaches. Like these ones, these are pretty solid type plastic that don't leach into the soil. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, some of us are pro paper bags, pro wood, pro organic, so some of those are a matter of preference, because if you do have plastic or other types of material that are not leaching, then you're actually okay. The biggest thing with food is not having chemicals leaching into your soil, because anything that leaches into the soil will be uptaken by the plant. And some of it may cause the plant to respond by dying. Some of it will be transmitted through the fruits or through the leaves to the consumer. So those are the things you need to be careful of. Okay.
Cement and hot ones may not be.
Some of the cement ones are actually okay. Some of the cement pots are okay. Yeah.
What about the clay pots?
The clay pots are actually the best, if you ask me.
Yeah.
The clay pots, if you ask me, I love clay. That's number one for me in terms of pots. It will be clay, then wood, and then other types of material. But it's actually up there for me. Okay, so let's get into it. Let's get these out of the way. You need a square to get your line straight. You can go at it with a screw gun and some screws, or you can go at it with some nails and a hammer. So there's no set rule that it has to be one or the other. And a pencil, of course, to draw your lines. So these are some of the basic things you'll need to build your own box. Real straightforward. And I'm starting the demonstration process, but you guys are going to build the box. You guys will build the box, then we do some transplanting. If you put in legs on your box, for example, like we had legs added to this box here, it's important that as you're building your box, that you're considering air circulation onto the box and moisture somewhere. So, I mean, these can be lined with plastic, like we have here, with these construction plastics, or you have mulching plastics and so on, different types, to line your boxes. Now, we estimated 4 inches and 4 inches. This particularly was designed so that you still need to have some space to move. So we pull this a little less than 2 feet. This is actually 1.5 foot. So we angle this at the point that you get only 1.5 foot taken away from your 4-foot balcony. So you still have 4.5 feet. I mean 2.5 feet to move around. And then we have some of these. Where are my boards? I had some long boards. Yeah, let me have them. We start another box. But this one is halfway there. So you guys will finish it up. Okay?
So what about pallets?
These are pallet boards. Yeah. I mean, with pallet boards, they're so delicate, because sometimes you purchase a pallet, and by the time you're finished taking the boards out, you end up breaking up so many of them. So basically I buy these boards already cut. Cost a little more, but I buy them already separated from the pallets, and then we pay some guys to go ahead and stain them for us. Okay. Not stain, burn. This is actually burnt with the oxygen. Yeah. So this, that's what it is. So can I get my participants closer now? We can stand and come a little closer. Whatever size of space you want to work with, you measure to get that size of space. So we got approximately a 7.5-inch board. But sometimes the board's actually crooked. So you check to make sure this one is 7 and a little more than 3/4. So sometimes when as a matter of fact, you can measure this all the way down. This is a 2-inch board. So you can literally hit them at intervals. Literally 100% organic matter. So we have organic food, they decompose and make an organic compost. And then this mix that I just brought out, there's the mix that we sell in the office at ABI. The mix is actually compost, vermiculite, some fine mix, and some peat moss. So the plant potting mix is actually really, really good if you're doing house plants or just wanting to do something like make your boxes. You can actually buy a mix like this, pour the mix in there and go for it. Okay? So that's one option. But today we're going to use some compost and some potting mix. Okay? I asked Hannah to bring me small.
So there's no
Everything. You don't put it in the bin.
Yeah, you have a separate bin for your plastic and other waste, but all of the plant and biodegradable waste. Even brown paper bags.
Okay. So then, so what kind is it for you?
Here in Nairobi, Kenya, attending a garden workshop with the Veggieman, Jadlo. family, there you have it. The session is closed out. We had fun. J Cafe, y'all seen her doing her thing. It was about 8 people that showed up for the first workshop. So for me, I learned a lot, and I'm looking for the many other classes and workshops to take place at Soul Veg, Kenya. So if you haven't yet, just a reminder, go ahead and hit that like, share, subscribe to the platform. I'm going to tune out right here, family, just to tune back in. Jadno, peace out.